What's up, everybody? I hope you're doing good. Beautiful day. Thank you very much for stopping by. You are appreciated. I see you watching us from all over the place. South Africa, thank you very much for being faithful to us. Nigeria, Zimbabwe, Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, thank you so much. Ghana, Liberia, Namibia, Libya. Yes, people are watching us in Libya. It's crazy, eh? Isn't it? Somalia, Ethiopia, Sierra Leone. I see you. Angola. I know some people from Angola say, we are here, Angola. Okay, so we are very, very happy. I know from all over the place, USA, Canada, Jamaica, Tobago, Trinidad, the UK. Thank you for choosing us. We are one big family with the same people, for sure, no doubt about it. Feel free to join us. Click on the button, subscribe, so we can see each other much often. You can click right now. Is it done? Okay, now we can all do this so we can push our video further so more of our people can see it. Okay, so we come here together to discuss about various subjects, and I appreciate you guys commenting. I've been reading your comments. It's just beautiful, mind-boggling. Some of you guys are very, very smart. It's just beautiful. So keep them coming so we can progress. Today we're talking about Niger. Put a map right here because I know a lot of our brothers don't know where Niger is. Lovely place in Africa. Niger has gone through some very interesting moments. So Niger people have ordered the United Nations official to leave the country. Yes, United Nations official to leave the country. You remember they ordered the French to leave the country, but now they're ordering the United Nations official to leave the country. This is a lady named Louise Aubin. They've asked her to leave. She has 72 hours to leave the country. We're going to get the context very quickly. Niger has demanded that the top United Nations official leave the country within 72 hours over accusation that Niger was excluded from the annual United Nations gathering of world leaders in New York last month. I don't know if you remember, last month we even talked about it very, very quickly. What happened was in the United Nations, many countries come together, okay, the annual meeting. Everybody come to express a little bit on how they're doing, how their country is moving forward, and stuff like that. And Niger, at that specific time, they refused them access to the United Nations. Why? Because people of Niger had just toppled their president, whose name is Mohamed Bazoum. So they instigated story into not allowing the new government in Niger to represent itself in New York. In a statement dated on October 10th, Niger Foreign Ministry accused the United Nations of using an underhanded maneuvers instigated by France to prevent its full participation in the high-level United Nations General Assembly meeting last month and subsequent meetings of the United Nations agency that were held in Riyadh. So Niger believed that France has played a big role into trying to stop them from expressing themselves in the United Nations meeting. Is this correct? We don't know. Do they have ideas to think that? Probably yes. Why? Because France has been kicked out of Niger, if you remember, just a while back, a couple of months back. They've asked them to leave the country, and they refused. The new Nigerian government that toppled the president asked the French ambassador to come for a meeting. The French ambassador refused to come. He did not even answer them. Ignored them completely. A few moments later, they sent him a message saying, you have 72 hours to leave the country. Since you refuse to come and have a meeting with us and you think you're bigger than us in our own country, please take your stuff and leave the country. And the French people in France said, you know what? He's not going anywhere because you have no authority to ask him to do that. You are not legitimate government. The legitimate government is the government of Mohamed Bazoum that you have held in captivity. Okay, you've arrested them, you've toppled them, but you are not legitimate government. You have no right to call our ambassador or ask him to leave the country. So the people of Niger say, oh, is that so? In my own house? I'm going to show you. They got the people together, the civilians, to walk and ask France to leave. Let me just remind you here that France has about 1,500 troops stationed in Niger, and these people are supposedly there to fight against terrorism. The people, meaning the civilians, went walking in front of the embassy of France, in front of the camps where the French people are located, asking them to leave the country. And obviously, after so much pressure, Emmanuel Macron, with so much arrogance, say, we are not leaving. We are staying there for Mohamed Bazoum. We are ready to support ECOWAS, which are 15 countries of the Western African nations, they were getting together to come and attack Niger. And France was supporting them to attack Niger in order to reinstate the toppled president, Mohamed Bazoum, because France lacks Mohamed Bazoum. Why do France lack Mohamed Bazoum? Because France, first of all, has colonized many African countries for many, many years. And they kept a very strong tie after colonization. Even though colonialism was over on paper, but in reality, economically, there is still a very strong hold. The proof is the money utilized by many French-speaking countries in Africa is printed in France today in 2023. Yes. So Niger was one of those countries where France could, take whatever they want, act in whichever way they like. France mines uranium from Niger. Uranium, for those of us who don't know, is used for the creation of energy, power, electricity. You can use uranium to create electricity. And France made great use of it. In France, they produce electricity from the uranium taken from Niger. Imagine this. One day you're doing great. You're making money. You're doing your things really, really well. And all of a sudden, somebody comes and says, oh, my friend France, from now on, things have changed. You're not going to do so well anymore with our stuff because the guy you used to talk to is not the president anymore. Will you like it as a France? No. You wouldn't like it as France. You wouldn't be happy. And that's the reason why Macron was not happy, because the interests of the French were threatened. And Nigerian people believe Macron instigated, alongside the Secretary General of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres. Macron discussed with Guterres, asking him, you know what? Do not let the people of Niger speak on this platform of the United Nations. Because by letting them speak, you're giving them a legitimate green card. You're telling them, okay, now you are a country. Do not allow them to be here. Because if they don't speak here, that gives us more time to find another solution to topple them and reinstate the old president. And obviously, Nigerians were not happy to see that they were not allowed to speak out at the United Nations. They first accused Antonio Guterres, who is the Secretary General of the United Nations, of conspiring with France. Then now they decided, you know what? Okay, no more talks. Take your United Nations person or representative in our country, take him out. We don't want him anymore. And this lady named Louise Aubin was asked to leave the country within 72 hours. So United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres is deeply in regret, and he regrets the move. He says he's regretting the move. Why have they kicked out the United Nations representative? Obviously, fella, you're doing funny things. They must kick her out. What do you expect? You refuse them entry to the United Nations, and you expect them to keep you in their country? Are you okay? So now the Biden administration has also blocked the money they funded in Niger in the past. $500 million that destined to be allocated to Niger has been blocked. They say this is a coup d'etat, we can't accept this anymore. So the question is, we need to understand, the coup d'etat was months back, it's not today. Why did the Biden administration take so much time before making this decision? You remember Victoria Nuland going to Niger, discussing with the junta at the time, having a long discussion, very honest discussion, she said. And then she asked to see toppled president, Mohamed Bazoum, and they said, no, you're not going to see him. At that specific time, USA never said this was a coup d'etat. They stayed quiet. They even moved their soldiers within the country with no difficulty. When France was screaming and saying, yeah, America was very quiet. Now, surprisingly now, they say we are not funding you anymore. No more $500 million for you because you're a coup d'etat. So why the delay? The Biden administration has been delaying a coup decision because Niger plays a critical role in the U.S. counterterrorism activity in Africa, Sahel region. Obviously, Niger is a very interesting place, a very necessary spot for the United States to be looking over Central Africa for Russian activity, looking over Somalia for terrorism and many other things. So it was in their best interest to try keep it on low. Don't try, harass and irritate Nigerian at that specific time where they were kicking out the French. Even though I know America's got enough power to, blow away this military, why would they do it? That would be a serious crime in other people's country. You just can't start destroying people in the country, even though you're the strongest person in the world. It makes absolutely no sense. So again, Louise Aubin, representative of the United Nations in Niger, has been asked to leave the country because they are tired of them, okay? No more playing with us as Nigerian. we want to be part of the United Nations, then you're going to respect us. If you will not allow us to express ourselves in the United Nations, then we don't think you should be in our country. You should leave our country also. Is this the right move from Niger? Tell me, let me know how you feel about it. Is this the right move to do? To make yourself respected, reciprocity. You refuse us to speak out on the United Nations. We're kicking you out of our country too. You can't keep the United Nations. We're going to keep our country. Or do you feel like this is perhaps pushing Niger in a corner, ostracizing themselves from everybody else? Let me know how you feel about this. It's always a great pleasure to learn from you. God bless.